There was a time I was known as the Knight of White Flowers, the Keeper of Oaths. But now I am
the lowest rated hero.
Hello guys, this is the TheFTPdude and welcome again for another video in Epic 7, and today I'm gonna talk about the lowest rated hero as the Epic 7 challenge holder, Briar Witch Iseria. And there's a lot of hate for her, and I can understand why. She's very squishy and she has a weird kit, but I think the main problem with her is that people still don't know how to use her, so here I am. So since I'm a Briseria spammer, I use her like 80% of RTA matches. Today I'm gonna make a guide about her, so I'm gonna talk about some points and I'm gonna discuss about her skills, what role she is and her stats, what kind of teams you can use her in, and what kind of heroes she's good against and what heroes she is bad against. So hopefully at the end of the video you're gonna have an idea on how to use her and you can try it yourself. So let's start with the skills, and let's start with the skill number 2. It's a passive, and these skills give you a 35% hit chance, so it counters evasion, it counters blind debuff, and it deals additional damage to targets if you hit them. So it's a very aggressive skill, and since the buffs now, it avoids fatal damage and it grants immortality for 1 turn, so it is now a defensive tool too. And the skill 3 is a big area damage nuke that also strips all enemy buffs, yeah, not one, not two, all buffs, and has an 85% chance to put unbuffable and attack debuff on enemies. So this makes her a damage dealer, but also a controlled unit, so this way she can lower enemies' damage and make sure they cannot get valuable buffs on. So this is a full strip plus unbuffable. This is a very broken combo. And yeah, you can think about Bazaar and how disruptive it can be. You have the same combo. Strip plus unbuffable. It's huge. And the skill 1, it's a decent high damage single target attack that also can defense break the enemy units, and is only for 1 turn, so like half of the times you don't even take advantage of this, cause your enemy is gonna strip it before you can act again. So I think this is the weakest skill for her, but still does considerable damage, so yeah. Okay, now that we have seen the spells, let's talk about her role. So, is she a damage dealer? Is she a control unit? Is she a bruiser? And the people use her in very different forms, but I think the strongest one is as a secondary damage dealer that can also debuffs. So, it's like this. You prioritize speed. She has to be faster than your other damage dealers, so she will go first. And then you can pump as much attack and crit damage as possibly can. And I think attack is a little bit more important than crit damage, because her S2 will deal additional damage based on her attack, so increasing her attack will deal additional damage on S3 and even on S2. And you give her even a little bit of effectiveness, like around 50%, because she don't rely that much on debuffs. If she debuffs is huge, and if she doesn't debuffs, that's just okay. And now, with this build, you need to understand that she will be an S3 and die hero. She's gonna S3 and then she can die. That's her job. And that's why I think a lot of people cannot use her properly, because they don't understand this point. And that's why I'm not a fan of the last buff for her, because I think they just missed the point, like even if she survives 1 more turn, she's gonna follow up with S1, and you don't care. S1 is her worst skill, so yeah. I think they will buff her again in the next months, so we are gonna see, but she's already really strong right now. Anyway, let's go back to her role. She's gonna use S3, and she's gonna do huge damage to all enemies, plus additional damage with S2, and then she will put the debuffs on the enemy units, so she will lower their attack, and she's gonna make them unbuffable, so you make sure they don't come back in the game via buffs. And for the artifact, I use the Portrait of the Saviors, because she will go before the other damage dealers, so the enemy units will be at around maximum HP, so this is perfect for her. So let's talk about the teams she can work in. So she's a secondary damage dealer and a debuffer. So especially in RTA, you need to use her with at least one more huge damage dealer, like for example an Arby, or two in RTA, cause just in case they ban one of them, cause alone she will not do enough damage to kill tanky comps, and like I said, she is an S3 and die hero, so you will be left with no damage to finish the enemies if she's alone. And she is very strong paired with attack buff units, cause her damage will go so much higher with attack buff, cause she will do more damage with the S3, and she will do more damage even with the S2, so you get double benefit from the attack buff. And she is even stronger if you pair her with a Toggle Mage like Bazaar, cause with the burn, the damage is so painful even to watch, it's crazy the amount of damage she can do. And for last, I'm gonna talk about the heroes she's good against and the heroes she's not good against. So from a control point, she works like the same as Bazaar. She almost have the same debuffs as Bazaar, the unbuffable and the attack debuff, but she's element neutral, so she cannot miss. And like Bazaar, she works really well against heroes that rely on buffs, like Kairon, Mullet Crow, FCC, Crow, and so on. Especially against Mullet Crow, she's a Mullet Crow killer, because she counters his ARA immunity, his shields, and the speed buff too, so she can lock him down completely. Instead, heroes she's not good against are Mullet Zeratu, because both of her attack skills have debuffs on, so you cannot touch Zeratu at all, he's gonna just destroy you. And even Mullet Surin, because she's gonna cleanse your S3, and you are gonna be left with the S1, that is a single target spell, so you cannot touch Stealthy Surin. And another counter are speed units that put unbuffable, like Bazaar or F10, because she won't get the immortality, and she will just die, they will just kill her. So if the opponent have this kind of heroes, you need to be sure to outspeed them, or you have to just ban them if you want the Briseria to work. So, making it quick, she's a secondary damage dealer, she cannot kill tanky comps alone, and you have to be sure to pick her with another damage dealer, otherwise you are not gonna be able to kill them. And you need to be careful about counters like Zeratu. And other than that, if you follow these simple 2 rules, she will just be a monster. So yeah, I think that's it for the guide, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comment if you have some suggestions or some other builds for her. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. So bye bye.